Dear Mem Hikmah and all of our friends,
Today we're going to talk about as us as a human being, our responsibility and our human spirit that inspired by the incident in Gaza and one of video inspiration where a man whose body no longer functioned, so he had to be lifted onto wheelchair every day. But before that, let us introduce ourselves.
my name is Ivonne from absent number 21.
And my name is Narita, presents number 5. And we're going to talk about the prepositional verbs, which is despite that, in spite of, although, and even though.
Yes, so let's get started. Hey Narita, have you seen the recent video circulating online about Israel bombing Gaza? It shows children and adults living in constant fear, unable to even think about peace.
Yes, you're right, Ivonne. It's very, very heartbreaking. They wake up to explosions, live with fear all day, and go to bed not knowing if they will survive the night or not. They have to hold on to hope, but that hope is often crushed.
Exactly. And what struck me is how those people cannot even carry on with ordinary life. Instead of thinking about education or dreams, they have to focus on how to get through another attack.
That's the tragedy. Living with survival as the only goal, children should grow up with laughter, not with trauma. Yet they are forced to deal with the sound of bombs, with the rubble of their homes, and with the grief of losing the loved ones, such as families.
I'm so agree with you. And what's worse is that the world often looks on without taking real action. People talk about human rights, but when children are bombed, those rights seem to vanish. We should speak out against this, not just read about it and move on.
That's very true. And you know what? It reminds me another video that I watched on another day. It shows a man whose body no longer functions. He can't move his arms or his legs, and he has to be lifted onto a wheelchair every day. Yet, despite that, he carries on with his life, like does daily thing very well.
I've seen it too. He doesn't give up on himself. Even though life is extremely difficult, he chooses to look forward instead of breaking down. It made me think, if he can live with such resilience, then what about us who often complain over small problems?
That's a very, very powerful comparison, Ivonne. People in Gaza are forced to hold on to life under bombs, and that man chooses to hold on to life despite his disability. Both stories shows us how the human spirit strength, but they also remind us of our responsibility as human beings.
Yes, responsibility, because it's not enough to simply feel sad. We need to stand up for justice, speak up against oppression, and reach out to those in need. Otherwise, we are just bystanders while others suffer.
And on a deeper level, it forces us to think, what does it mean to be human? Is it just to look after ourselves, or is it to lift up others even when it's inconvenient?
Yes. For me, being human means refusing to look away. It means standing with those who are silenced. Those children in Gaza may not have a voice, but we can speak up for them. And that man in the wheelchair teaches us that dignity is not lost, even when the body fails.
Very, very well said. But video remind us to reflect on our lives. Are we living with gratitude? Are we using our voice for good? Are we strong enough to stand up for those who are weaker than us?
That's the real critical point, Narita. Empathy without action is empty. We must carry through with responsibility, compassion, and courage. Otherwise, we're only watching tragedy unfold instead of helping to change it.
Exactly, and if people can hold on under bombs, and if one man can hold on despite his body failing, then surely we can hold on to our duty to make the world better.
I couldn't agree more, Narita. The stories are not just videos to scroll past. They're lessons that call on us to rise up, to act, and to believe that humanity can still stand against cruelty. So maybe the lesson here is clear. We cannot control every injustice, but we can choose not to give up on humanity. And that choice begins with us.
Yes, Yvonne, and if each of us dares to rise up with empathy and act on it, then even in a broken world, hope can break through the darkness. And I think we're gonna say free Palestine and stop genocide.